Hello student, today we are going to study Political Science, Class 9, Chapter 2, Constitutional Design. This is the second segment of this video. In the first segment, what we have discussed so far that why there is a need of a constitution. We recall from the class 8, which you have read in the first chapter that what we need a constitution, how we made a constitution, then we come to know about the Nepal, what had happened in the Nepal, then we see the whole scenario, how they make the constitution. In this chapter, we have to come to know whether the earlier, till the 1994, the South Africa was under the colonial rule by which they used to discriminate on the basis of the racism. They used to discriminate on the basis of the Indians also, Indians as well, because they used the white people used to hate the black people on the basis of each and everything. What they thought that white people are more civilized, more educated, and they have the live in a manner way. They thought that the European civilization is much superior than the Asian societies, or you can see the South African countries. So they thought that the black people are uncivilized, illiterate, they don't have the idea how to live a life, and their civilization is very much bad. So in each and every place, whether you talk about the school, the cinema, the water parks, the swimming pools, each and every place, start from the workshop, from the education sector, from the employment sector, or the public places or the private places, they used to restrict this black people, the Indians, that you are not allowed to go inside there. And if they used to go over there, so they give the order to their armies, to the security, that you can shoot them or you can harshly punish them. So these are the things, continuously going over till 1994. Then the Nelson Mandela used to stand for the jail for the next 28 years in the rigorous, you can say, the place where he has to live over there. So he was the first president of the South Africa when they used to got the independence on 26 April 1994. After that, the discussion of the constitution, it takes 2 years, and they used to come up with the finest constitution of the world. That what they used to mention over that, first and the foremost thing, that all the people are equal, irrespective of the racism and irrespective of the male and female. Then one more the important thing is that whatever the things has did by the white people, so they have to remove all the bitterness from their heart, which is did by the white people. So they have to come with the peace and harmony, that all the white people, the black people, and the people who are resided in the South Africa, those the people who was migrated from the India, they have to we live like a friend, not like the enemy, and they have to be live with the peace and harmony. And each and every person, whether they are the white people, whether they are the natives of the America, or whether they are the Indian who are migrated from the India towards the South Africa, or the other people who used to come from the different parts of the world to reside in the South Africa, all the people should get the equal chances in the job or in the any other field. So there is not any kind of the discrimination, and whatever the things happen in the past, that is not going to be happen in the future. Like if whosoever do the brutal killing and the other things, or the, you can say, the repression or the exploitation, the suppression, all the people used to be punished by this, and all the people are equal in the front of the law. And now in this segment, what are the points we have to cover is that why do we need a constitution, making of the Indian constitution, the part to the constitution, and the constituent assembly, in which we have brief in the previous segment. We already discussed that why do we need a constitution, which I already explained that in the previous segment. If there is no rules and regulation, the particular people thought that in my country there is no rule and regulation, whatever things I want to do, I can do it for the betterment of my country, not a betterment of my country, for the fulfilling his all the desires, or you can say the fulfilling his demands. Why? Because what I thought that if I used to kill that particular person, so I will take my revenge. So he is not having any kind of the fear, which is decided by the you can say the law. So if there is a rules and regulations, so he had the fear that I do not have to kill that particular person. If I used to kill it, then the court used to give me the punishment. They used to send me the jail for the life imprisonment, or they used to give me the punish for the hang till that. So he has the certain fear that yes, I do not want to do some wrong deeds. I want to do the good deeds for my country, for the people, and for my state. So these are the things which we are going to deal with this. These are the first we start with the why do we need a constitution. The South Africa example is a good way to understand why we need a constitution and what to do with the constitution do. The oppressor and the oppressed in the new democracy were planning to live together as the equals. Now the thing is that the people has to live equally. It was not going to easy for them to trust each other. Now it is not easy to trust with each other because like yes we mentioned the word equal in the constitution, but over a period of time it takes the time the people should have to believe or people should have to trust to the other people. Yes, now we don't have any kind of bitterness, we don't have any kind of like we don't want to take the revenge for this particular person. So it takes you can say the number of time or over the period of time when the people used to get healed, then after that they can build a trust, and after that they can trust the people. Then we will see the equality because the people have the fear that why we going to trust this particular people. But when they get healed, when they have build that trust over that people, then over a period of time we can see the equality in a country. In a country I'm talking about basically the South Africa, it was going to be easy for them to trust each other. They had their fears, they wanted to safeguard their interests. The black majority was keen to ensure that the democratic principle of the majority was not compromised. They thought that each and every people should get the equal opportunity. That doesn't mean that some of the people, those who are in the minority, so whatever the right has given in the constitution, so they don't have to be compromised. They should get the equal opportunity what they want to do in the terms of the language they want to speak, in terms of the job they want to do, in terms of the education what they want to take. They want the substantial social and the economic rights. The white minority was keen to protect the privilege and the property. Now they want to enjoy the certain privileges and they want to protect their property. After the long negotiation, both the parties agrees to the compromise. Now they both the parties agrees means where we have discussed in the previous segment that the particular party with the multi races, we can say the people are from the black as well, they were also there. People from the white, they are also the people who were the Indians, they were also there. So after the long negotiation, both the parties agreed to compromise that the white agreed to the principle of the majority rule and the one person, one vote. Now they agreed with the one person, one vote. Earlier the white people used to give the vote. The black people and Indian people are not allowed to give the vote. So in this segment, after the, you can say the long discussion, both the parties, the white people parties and the black people parties are agreed that all the people can give the vote, one person. They also agreed to accept some basic rights of the poor and the worker. The blacks agreed that the majority rule would not be absolute. Now they thought that the black agreed the majority rule would not be absolute. They thought that if the black people used to come in the majority, that not should be absolute. They agreed that the majority would not take away the property of the white minority. If they thought that if the elected representative is black leader or because a black representative, so he is not having the right to take away all the properties from the white people. So this compromise was not easy. How was this compromise going to be implemented? Even if they managed to trust each other, what was the guarantee that this trust will not be broken in future? Now they thought that if they build the trust in the present times, so they thinking of that if this trust is going to be broken in the future, so the only way to build the maintain the trust in such a situation is to write down some rules of the games and everyone would abide by it. Means now they are writing some rules over on the we can say the constitution by which each and every people has to follow it or abide by it. The rules lay down on how the rulers are to be chosen in future. Now how the rulers are to choose to be in future, these rules are also determine what the elected government are empowered to do. So these rules are determined that the elected government are empowered to do what they cannot do. Finally these rules decided the rights of the citizen. Now finally they decide what the rights of the citizen. These rules will work only in the winner and cannot change them very easily. So this rule will work only in the winner and cannot change them very easily. This is what the South African did. They agreed on some basic rules. They also agreed that these rules will be supreme. Now this particular rule which they mentioned in the preamble, these rules are the supreme, that no government will be that not going to be able to ignore this. The set the basic rule is called the constitution. So this is called the constitution, where if the black people get the vote in the majority, if he used to form the government and the leader is from the black community, so he has not having the right, or he has not given the right, and he can take away the property from the white, or the privileges which is enjoyed by the white people, he do not have the right to take away from them. So these are the rights which is mentioned in the constitution of South Africa, that you do not have to suppress, or you do not have to be dominate over the white people. You have to give the respect to each and every person. Constitution making is not unique in South Africa. Every country has a diverse group of people. Yes, it's true that if we talk about India, we are the like we have seen all where the diversity in our country. If we talk about the South Africa or any other country, we see the diverse people. Their relationship may not have been as bad as the between the white and the black in the South Africa, but all over the world, the world people had difference of opinion and interest. That is true that each and every person have the different opinion and the interest, whether the democratic or not. Most countries in the world need to have this basic rule. Yes, most of the country need to have this basic rule. This apply not just to the government. Any association need to have its constitution. Any of the association, or you can say any of the country, not the association, any of the country have their own constitution. It could be club in your area, or the cooperative society, or the political party. Yes, it's true. Whatever it's true over there. Any of the group, any of the association, any of the society, or any of the political party. Yes, they have the rules and regulation, or we used to call it as the constitution, the Samvidhan. They all need a constitution. Thus, the constitution of the country is the set of the written rules that are accepted by all the people living together in a country, just like India and the South Africa and the many other countries. Constitution is the supreme law. In supreme law, in the sense, it is the law which have to accept by from the first citizen to the you can say the poor people. If we talk about the India, from the first citizen, there is a precedent to till the poor people, whosoever the people is there, all the people are equal in front of the law, and determine the relationship among the people living in the territory called the citizen, and also the relationship between the people and the government. A constitution does not manage the thing. The first is that it generates a degree of trust, like people have to do the trust to the every person, and the coordination that is necessary. Yes, we have to come up with contact with we have to come in the contact with the people, that how we have to talk there and how to build the trust. Because when we come with the when we interact, or when we communicate with the people, then we come to know what kind of people he is, what kind of ideas we have to share, and then after that we can build our trust over that. Then different kinds of people to live together. And the second, it specifies how the government will constitute, who will have the power to take which decision. Yes, this is also mentioned in the constitution, that the person who is having the power, so he has the right, or he has given the right in the constitution, that he has the right to take the decision about the country, about the people, and about the nation. Third, it lays down the limits on the power on the government, tells us the what the rights of the citizens are. Now they limit the power of the union government, the state government, and what they give the certain rights to the people as well. They can come in the front of the government, that these are the particular rights which are not going to fulfill our desire, our demands, or you can say for the nation, so you can change it. For this, the people used to do a peaceful protest. If the government is not abiding that, they used to go with the protest with the, you can say, if certain times it used to take the form of the conflict, or certain times it used to take the form of the reforms, or the big revolution to make the changes in the country, or you can say to make the changes in the constitution. So far you can see in the India, maybe in the different parts of the view, if you want to see in the China, if you want to see in the Syria, if you want to see in the America. So over a period of time they want to see the changes in the constitution. They can do this kind of thing in the different parts of the world, in the different countries. Fourth, it expresses the aspiration of the people about creating a good society. Now they have the aspiration to creating a good society. All the countries that have the constitution are not necessarily democratic, which I already explained in the first chapter, in the first segment of the video, in the second segment of the video. Yes, that is true that we are having 204 countries, in which few countries having the written constitution which are the democratic, and there are the few countries which are the you can say the monarchical country, where they are having the constitution but they come under the monarchy, or you can say the monarchical government. And some of the countries they are having the constitution but not in the written form, but they are in the verbal form. But all the countries that are the democratic will have the constitution. After the war of independence, again the Great Britain, the American gave themselves a constitution. After the revolution, the French people approved a democratic constitution. Since then it has become a practice that in all the democratic have a written constitution. Like first when the America got the independence from the Britain, they make the constitution. After that the France make their constitution, by which the number of the countries had adopted this, or you can say the fascinated with this, that they have to make their constitution, they have to write the book, or you can say in the other words, they have to write the rules, or the written write the rules, or by which the number of the people can adopt or follow these rules, that by which they can regulate the country with the peace and the harmony, and all the people of the nation they can follow their rules and regulation and the law, by which they come to know that the what under which rule or under which law we have to protect ourselves, and we do not have to do any of the wrong deeds. Because if we going to do the wrong deeds, the particular law is punished by us, and they maybe they used to take fine from us, or maybe they used to send us in the imprisonment. Now, making of the Indian Constitution. Yes, in the first segment of the video, I have said that we have discussed like the B.R. Ambedkar, because he used to studied in the foreign country, so he had the idea of the different countries constitution. So while making of the Indian constitution, we used to sit it in the legislative assembly, and more than the 300 people, they sit it together and they discuss the different countries constitution of the different countries, like what are kind of like what kind of rules we have to mention in our constitution, that what kind of particular rules we want to adapt from the different constitution. So here we discuss of like whosoever the country were there, those who have the constitution, we have took that constitution, then we discuss it, we did the long debate. After that we come up with the result, or we come up with the outcome, then we have mentioned in our constitution that particular rule is going to be mentioned in our Indian constitution. So first start with the, like the South Africa, India's constitution also drawn up under a very difficult circumstances. Yes, it is true that in the different circumstances, it starts from 1940, after the 1947, it starts from 1946, but in 1947, and we drafted our constitution on 26 November 1949, and then finally we adopted on 26 January or 26 Jan 1950. The making of constitution in a huge, diverse country like India was not easy affair. Yes, because India country is huge. This is the seventh largest in the world, and despite of diverse, so it is not easy to make the constitution for the country. At the time, the people of India were emerging from the state of the subject to the citizen. Now, on the basis of the language, they put the name of the state, and if they used to put the national language and the national religion, then on the basis of that, after the partition, that I don't think the India used to be the divided into two nations. At that time, if we are not giving the importance to the language and they put the name of the state on the basis of the language. So India has to be divided into 14 or the 15 parts of the different nation or the country. So it's good that the people they didn't specify the particular national language, or you can say the national religion. Here we give the importance to the equality, and all the person is equal in the front of the law. So country was won through the partition on the basis of religious difference. This was the traumatic experience for the people of India and the Pakistan, because the people or the ordinary people of the India, they don't want the partition, but this is a traumatic for them that they will get the party, they got the independence on the verge of the they got the independence on the verge of the partition. One is India and another one is the Pakistan. So at least 10 lakh the people were killed on the both the side of the border in the partition related the violation. There was the another problem. The British had left to as the ruler of the princely state to decide whether they wanted to merge in India or with the Pakistan or remain the independent. Now they have the British had left the choice to the people, or the you can say the king, or they want to merge with the India, or they want to merge with the Pakistan, or they want to remain as the independent state. The merge of this princely state was the difficult of the uncertain task. Yes, it was a difficult task because the Sardar Patel has played a major role to meet the united India. Other than we can say, if he is not there, nowadays we are not the united India, we are in the different parts. Like the Gujarat is having the separate country, the Maharashtra is having the separate country, Tamil Nadu is having the separate country, Assam is having the separate country. Because of him we are today we are the united. When the constitution began written, the future of the country did not look as secure as it does today. Yeah, when the people, when they used to write the constitution, they don't thought that okay, the future of the country that much is secure, which we find today. Yes, our future of the country is that much secure because we have a good constitution and we have the good political leaders, and with the number of the youth, like we are second highest in the population, and the number of the youths were there. So yes, we are highly in the economy. We used to help the nation to become the developed nation. The maker of the constitution had anxiety about the present and the future of the country. Now they are thinking about the present as well as the future of the country. Now you think what the anxiety means. The anxiety means the people who used to think about the future rather than like he has the kind of a tension who is thinking about the future only. That is the meaning of the anxiety. The path of the constitution. Now here the path of the constitution, that what it used to come over here. Despite of all the difficulties, there was one big advantage for the maker of the Indian constitution. Unlike the South Africa, they did not have to create a consensus about what the democratic India should be like. Yes, they don't say that what the India should be like. Much of the consensus had evolved during the freedom struggles. Our national movement was not merely a struggle against the foreign rule. Yes, we are not having the struggle against the foreign rule. It was the struggle to reunite our country. Reunite means country, to make our India a united country, and to transform society and the politics, to transform, to make the changes in the our society and the politics or the policies. There are the self-differential opinion with the freedom struggle about the path of India should take after the independence. Such difference exists even today. Now, such difference exists even today because we used to take into the integration what the people give their thoughts, what the people are giving their desire, what the people are expressing their views. So we take into the integration. On the basis of that, the particular ideas, the particular views, or you can say the particular thought, we should take into the our policy. Then it help us to the government that particular thought, the particular idea, the particular you can say the views we have to take in the in our idea. Then we have to make certain changes, we have to make the certain plans, and we have to make the certain initiative which will help to develop our nation. Such difference exists even today, yet some basic idea had come to be accepted by almost everyone. So it's like most of the ideas has to be accepted by everyone. As far back as in 1928, Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders drafted a constitution for India. Now the B.R. Ambedkar and the Motilal Nehru and 8 other Congress leaders, they drafted, and here we talked about the Motilal Nehru, the father of the Jawaharlal Nehru. we are talking about before the independence. There is in 1928 they drafted the constitution, and the 800 Congress leader Constitution of India in 1931 resolution at the Karachi session of the Indian National Congress dwelt on the how the independent India constitution should be look like. In the 1931, they come up with the constitution that how the India look like. So both these documents were committed to the inclusion of the universal adult franchise. Means the person who is of the certain age, or you can say the beyond this age, because earlier they were not decided the age. Earlier the people who is having the age of 21 or above the age of 21, he or she can able to give the vote. Earlier the males are able to give the vote, females are not allowed to give the vote. Earlier the people who are rich and those who are the male, they can give the vote. After the number of the reforms, the people especially the men, those who do the work, whether they are the rich or poor, they can able to give the vote. But later on after the number of the reforms and the revolution went did by the woman, they said that we should also give the right to participate to give the vote in the elections, and by casting their vote they can elect the representative. But it takes number of the it takes a number of the time over the period of time. After the independence, the women used to get the right to give to cast their vote and to elect their representative. Both these documents were committed with this that the universal enterprise right to freedom and equality and to protecting the rights of the minorities in the constitution of independent India. Now they use the word the equality. That here, those who are the people in the majority and those who are the people in the minority, they used to get the equal chance that whatever you want to do, you can do it under the constitution. Whatever the articles, whatever the rules have mentioned has mentioned in the constitution, you have to abide by it. You have to follow it. The some basic values were accepted by the older leaders much before the Constituent Assembly met to deliberate the constitution. That what the Constitution Assembly is. This one, the last topic of this segment. Constitution Assembly is that assembly where all the leaders come together and they discuss like what kind of the rules, the values we have to discuss, and we have to mention in our constitution in our article, by which we can see this particular in the present and we can see this rule in the future as well. If according to the time changes, if the people want to change it, modify it, or you can say the appeal it, they can make change it, they can change it but can't remove it. Because over the period of time, yes, you have to make certain changes in the constitution, but you can't remove it. This is the basic, you can say the fundamental needs of the constitution, that yes, you can modify it, you can appeal it, but you can't remove it, or you can't say you can't dissolve all the constitution. You can change it but you can't dissolve it. So far what we have discussed, that why do we need a constitution? Because the written book of the rules and regulation in need of the particular country, if there is no rule and regulation, all whosoever the people is there, he can do whatever the things used to come in his mind, and he can did that. Making of the Indian constitution, which I already explained, that we in the legislative assembly, or you can say in the parliament, where all the leaders come together, then they discuss about the different country's constitution. After the long debate, they come up with the one idea. Then they used to discuss with the B.R. Ambedkar, with the first president of our India and the first president of our India. Then after that, after the long debate, when they come up with the outcome, then they used to mention about the particular article, that this article should be written in our constitution, which will help the India in the present as well as in the future. Now the path of the constitution is not easy for any country. If we talk about India, we talk about the South Africa, that country are diverse. If we talk about particularly our country, that is India, firstly it is huge, the 7th largest in the world, and the diversity in our India, because to make the constitution for such a big country is like a big task. Then if we talk about the Constituent Assembly, in the Constituent Assembly, which I already explained, the number of the leaders come together, they used to do long discussion, the long debate, then after that they come up with the idea and they come up with the result, that what kind of changes we want to see in our country, that the particular rule, the particular decision which is taken by the government is to follow by the present generation as well as the future generation. That doesn't mean we make the rule and we forcefully you can say, you can force to the people, you can follow the rule, or we are imposing, we are impose the rule to them that you have to follow this rule compulsory. If they thought that the particular rules is not according to the you can say, if they're violating their fundamental rights or they're violating their freedom of speech and the privacy, so they have the right, they can appeal in the court, or they can do the protest, they can do the reforms and the revolution if they want to see the changes in the particular constitution. So far we have discussed all this point in this segment. In the next segment we will discuss further what are the other things. I hope you like this video. Thank you.